Hey guys, Ebontis here. Gonna do Armsday run-through information for September 28th. Got a couple decent rolls here for you guys, especially a rocket launcher that you probably don't want to miss out on, so let's jump in and see what he's got. For the Thesan FR4, there's not an amazing package this week, but I would go with number 2 if you really need to go with one, but if you can hold on to it, I probably would try. Rangefinder's not bad, but what you're really looking for here is going to be accelerated coils. This is going to improve the charge time on a gun that already has great stability and great impact in the first place. Here, if you want to go for something like Army of One, you'll just get a bigger benefit out of it, but really what you want is hot swap right there. And then finally down here, you'd be looking for the torch scope. It helps with target acquisition. It's a short range scope, just going to be your best bet there as well. So we can have better options, but as this does have rangefinder and the stats are pretty good in the first place anyway, if you really want to pick it up, go with number 2. Otherwise, hold on to this one and look for a little bit better perks in a future week. For the Suros JLB42 rocket launcher, number 1 is going to be your way to go. It's pretty much your PvE rocket, almost god roll that you could ask for on this gun. You've got Javelin to improve velocity, always a good thing. You've got Tracking, which is definitely the only main perk to use in PvE. You've got Heavy Payload, boosting the blast radius, which is pretty much all you can ask for out of this one because it's already one of the highest blast radiuses, and it nearly maxes it out. And then down here, you've got Hard Launch, which is more velocity and blast radius. It looks a little wrong up top, but really what you're getting is the boost of velocity. You can go Soft Launch, which is going to lower the blast radius a little more, give you a little more velocity. It's kind of your toss-up between these two. It's about the same, but I'd probably keep the velocity a little higher without giving up too much blast radius with Hard Launch. So pretty good roll on number 1. If you want this gun for PvE purposes, this is pretty much all you can ask for. So pick up package 1 for the JLB42. For the Suros DIS-43, you've got one over here with Hidden Hand with some stability. You've got another one over here with Take a Knee and some stability. But on the Suros DIS Scout Rifle, you really want to go with this full auto one. You've got Perfect Balance, which is going to help the stability as much as you can ask for in this column. Full auto is going to make it fire about as fast as feasibly possible. For this gun is going to be really helpful. And then here you've got the small bore, increasing range and stability even a little more. Range on a Scout Rifle, not a big deal. But the stability on top of Perfect Balance, you're going to give up a few in the magazine, a little bit of reload speed, which shouldn't be that big of a factor. And if you don't want to give up those two, you can still go lightweight, you can go full auto, you can go Perfect Balance, and the Scout scope here should be fine. But in general, these two alone should be all you need. This one's a bonus, and if you don't want to give it the magazine size, you'll just have a little extra agility. So this one is actually a really good roll for the Scout Rifle. The full auto especially is one that I know a ton of people look for on these Scout Rifles, so keep this one in mind, and I would go for package 2 for the DIS-43. I think you'll be pretty happy if you do. For the LYudmila-D, I think number 1 is going to be the pretty easy option for everybody to go with here. The post scope is pretty simple, but works. The Head Seeker perk is definitely the one you're looking for here on a pulse rifle. Body shots increase precision damage for a short time, and as this is a 4-bullet burst, you might get a little bonus damage out of this one. You've got Rangefinder. Aiming the weapon increases its effective range, which you're going to want to do anyway. And then you pair that one with Fitted Stock. You've got decent stability, decent range on a very slow controlled pulse rifle. While these don't have the most love in the world in the grand scheme of the PvE meta, this one still with the right perks can be something you can at least consider a decent option. Decent magazine size. You've got Head Seeker, which is probably the best thing you can ask for, and a boost of stability. So number 1 for the LYudmila-D seems to be the way to go. For the Suros PDX-41, there's a couple I was torn between, but I think I've got to go with option 1. Option 2 has unflinching, and you're going to have a very stable gun with almost max stability, probably pretty close, but you're going to be giving up some range to do that, so I think number 1 is going to be the way you want to go. You've got small bore, which you're going to give up a little reload speed and magazine size, but I think that can be paired nicely because this does have Outlaw on it, with precision kills increasing reload speed dramatically, which is good. Then you've got Hammer Forged, giving you extra range to pair with small bore. You're going to have more range and more stability. And then finally, you've got the Suros 28 sights, which are going to be the ones that improve target acquisition. Always a good thing for those headshots paired with Outlaw. So I think the combination of perks here is probably going to have the best benefit without losing anything too crucial. You don't really want to give up stability, and that's probably what the third one's doing. Giving up range on the second one, while okay, you're still going to get decent perks here, decent range, and a nice combination of benefits that work together and synergize well with Outlaw and small bore and things like that. So I would go with package 1 for the PDX-41. If you kept a Suros PDX45 from last week, number 1 is decent, but again, could be better. You've got small bore, you've got hammer forged, you've already got really solid stability on this gun. You're looking for the 28 sights just for that target acquisition. And here in the middle, what you really want is either counterbalance or rangefinder, depending on your preference of what you want. But unflinching for what it will do versus the other perks, this one is just not worth going for. If you've been holding on to a PDX45 for a while, small bore and rangefinder are pretty good. I've probably got one pretty close to this, but you want counterbalance or rangefinder here in the middle to make it a really good roll, so keep waiting if you've been waiting. For the field test weapons this week, we've got 2 Crucible and 3 PvE, just like last week. First one we've got is the Hake test auto rifle. Use it against Cabal. Just go patrol Mars or do the first mission on Mars and you should be able to knock this one out. Then you've got the Suros auto rifle. Use this in Crucible. I hear you can do this in private matches, so if you've got a buddy to go in there with, just let them run at you a few times and you can knock this one out. Then we've got the Suros rocket launcher. Use it against high-ranking enemies. One of the best places to do this is on Earth, actually, since it's not a specific race of enemy. You can go right where you spawn, go to the left, down in the little shack where the 3 hives spawn. Go down there, use the rockets down there, and you can clean this one up pretty quickly. If you just go down, kill them, go up, wait a bit up top, and then respawn, then go back down, you should be fine. Over on the Hake sniper rifle, use it against Cabal Centurions. You can find quite a few on either, again, the opening patrol area of Mars on the top and the bottom, or you can, again, load that first mission. Just don't kill all the enemies, die, respawn, and you can get quite a few of them there. And finally, we've got the Amalon test sniper rifle. Use this in the Crucible. Again, potentially either private matches or just go in there and try and use this thing. At least snipers should be at least one-shot headshot, so not the easiest things to use for test weapons, but at least you're not trying to outduke somebody with a primary in a regular Crucible match. So good luck on these. They should be reasonable. I think most of the PvE ones aren't too bad. The Crucible ones, that's always a toss-up. If you can find private matches, probably a bit easier. As for the Foundry orders for next week, we've got 3 auto rifles and 2 sniper rifles. We've got the Arminius-D. This is the bullet hose type auto rifle of the Hake Foundry. You guys probably know this one by now. It's pretty much right up there with Doctrine of Passing. Going to be a bullet hose, pretty much always looking for something like counterbalance to control that recoil, much more stability and a little bit of range. Pretty straightforward. You just want to control this beast and put all your bullets as tight in a grouping as you can. Then we come to the Zarinaea-D auto rifle, the brother to the Arminius-D. A little slower firing, but definitely not the slowest auto rifle in the world. It's got decent range when it comes to at least its archetype, but again, they still need a boost in range, a boost to stability, and aim assist is always going to help as well. So again, more auto rifles here. And the Suros ARI-45 slows it down just a bit more to the slowest rate of fire auto rifle. This one actually has the second highest range for auto rifles pretty much that you can get from the Gunsmith. And in the grand scheme, its stability is not great, but it's reasonable, but it is going to be a slower firing one, so probably a little easier to control. So kind of pick your poison on the auto rifles here, whichever type you prefer. Somewhere on the 2 extremes actually seem a little more favorable, I think, when it comes to stats and just the way the guns are rolling right now. Arminius-D with the right rolls can be good, and the Suros ARI-45 on the other side should be doing alright as well. Then we come to the Hake tamar-d sniper rifle. You guys have seen this one before with the LYudmila-D, and this one being next to the same. This one's got a little better stats than its brother, but not a huge difference really. In the grand scheme, it's going to be pretty close. But it's got range never being an issue, but it is pretty high on range. Stability's on the lower end, a little higher than the LYudmila-D, but the aim assist is a little higher. So you've got the aim assist kind of in place. What you'll be looking for is that stability, because it's not the slowest rate of fire auto rifle, or sniper rifle, I'm sorry, but it is going to need some stability because you're going to get those shots out a little quicker than some of those really slow ones. So look for some stability here, maybe some good rolls like Hidden Hand for that headshot boost and things like that. And finally, you come to the Uzume RR4 from Amalon. This is your fastest rate of fire sniper rifle. Unfortunately, this doesn't have some things going for it that people like, but a few people may. This has very, very low aim assist. Outside of the Irene RR4, it has the second lowest aim assist, which for some people, if they don't want that, auto drag of the cursor when people moving around, it may be what they want, but most people probably prefer that aim assist to be higher. This one does have plenty of range, pretty good reload speed, and stability is actually pretty reasonable as well. If you get something like Hidden Hand on this one, and just a boost to that aim assist factor, that can be helpful. But in general, these Omolon snipers, I just like the way they feel, both of them. In general, I use the Irene in raids, and I've used the Irene, which has the lowest aim assist in PvP for a while. Now, I may not be the best sniper, but the fact that I've used that, it's probably helped me a little bit. So this one's not a bad sniper either. So tamar-d may be a little more useful just because it's higher impact if you're looking for one for the raid. But this one, if you just want a very fast-firing sniper rifle, this is going to be your animal. It's kind of up to you guys. You got 3 auto rifles and 2 sniper rifles, so whatever your needs are, pick them up. Again, I would probably pick the 2 outside rate of fire auto rifles, and then of the 2, I might take the tamar-d over the Uzume just for the higher impact. But that's pretty much it for the Foundry orders. Well, thank you guys very much. Hope this information was helpful to you guys. Again, always check out the main channel, subscribe there. I will keep the content coming your way. Likes on these videos are appreciated, so drop one of those below if you did enjoy this. And again, as always, just have fun out there. We've got a lot of content to play, and Rise of Iron's been great so far, so keep enjoying it. As usual, I'm out of here, guys. Have a good weekend, and enjoy.